Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS for the week of January 24th, 2017. I'm Mimi and I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hi.
And I've got Lala sitting on my lap helping us out. She's like, hey, stop disturbing me. I keep holding her up. So we're kicking off this week with the moon in Capricorn. So the moon shifted into Capricorn today, just like about an hour before we're recording this. And this moon in Capricorn is the dark of the moon, taking us into that new moon in Aquarius on Friday. So when we have the dark of the moon, this is when our shadows can come forth. It's interesting because we can really feel that with the full moon because it's like the full expression of the moon. But the new moon to me is also the full expression of the moon. It's just the full expression of her shadow versus the full expression of her light. And so I think we're working with that through this energy this week. And I've got some things. I've got the burden card. I've got the guilt card, and I've got slow down and postponement from Osho. And what I think this is like asking us to do is like slow down. We have these things that we want. Capricorn wants to fulfill energy. We finished with the sun in Capricorn, but we have this moon. It's like, so where are these manifestations? Where's the stuff? Where's all the stuff that I've been working towards? I've been working. Where is the evidence? So what happens when we kind of get stuck in, stuck in the head, stuck in the burden energy? To me, it's like, hey, this energy is coming. It's always coming. If you're working towards it, things are coming. Things are happening. Things are shifting. Actually got the dream. To me, yeah, you're going to come into this energy. You're going to come into this union, whatever it is. I've actually got a great card from my sacred geometry, which I think is going to firm this in. But you've got to recognize those places where you're undermining yourself with this energy. If you have guilt, like, oh, maybe I didn't do it right, any of those old things, it's time to release that energy, release that burden, release those shoulds. I get really on the should case with this. And instead, slow down, be in this present moment, and let it come about. I also have the High Priestess card, the inner voice card. Listen to your inner voice. Let this help guide you. Don't get stuck in this mental energy. This is so funny. There's a rooster on this guy's head, and we're heading into the year of the rooster. The new moon brings on the year of the firebird, the rooster. And so it's like, hey, don't let this cock take you out. I'm 5. Listen to your inner voice. Don't get stuck in this. I'm using the Goddess Guidance cards today. I've got the Ishtar card, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. But I think the boundaries may actually be on yourself in this energy, and having that boundary against those things which are threatening to undo this work you've put in. I see it like when we're like, maybe I shouldn't have done this, and maybe I did this too much. And it's like every time you're doing that, it's like digging up those seeds that you planted. Don't get stuck in doubt. Find a way to refocus your energy. Give yourself those boundaries, and then listen to your inner voice, your inner self, telling you how to get there. So I'm using, because I think Aquarius is so vibey, I'm using sacred geometry cards for the visionary path. And I don't actually know how to say this card. Apsara's hands? Do you know that word? Am I saying that right?
I have no idea.
Apsara hands, whatever. And it's about achievement and completion. And let's see. 3 circles offer a sense of wholeness as you contemplate this completion. You have accomplished much, and you are realizing success in the achievement of your purpose. As you approach the conclusion of this phase, honor the work you have completed and decisions that have brought you to this moment. Don't get caught in the doubt. Don't get caught in the burdens. It is time to expand your vision and continue walking your path. Each life is going to be filled with beginnings and endings. Even our highest aspirations find completion. Life continues in a manner that's not predictable, yet with an attitude of flexibility. Capricorn's not known for that flexibility. Attitude of flexibility and a sense of adventure, you will see new horizons and fresh opportunities are becoming available. Look into your future with optimism and hope, knowing that magic and new horizons are around the corner. So keep going. These are the cycles. Don't dig up this work that you've put in. Don't get stuck in that mental, oh, did I do it right energy? You're doing just fine. Keep going.
Okay, so the cards that I have are very, very interesting. So I'm going to start I think I want to start with my Wisdom of the Oracle, actually. The first card I have is the Orphaned card. So there's some interesting energy on the planet. And you know, I want to avoid talking about it, but I think it does behoove me to talk about it in the way that me and Mimi have our perspective, because we're very much trying to, we stay in the observer of it all, and we're trying to see the bigger meaning, or the complete picture, instead of all the little snapshots and all the puzzle pieces that are happening. And so the Orphan card is telling me that it is easy to isolate ourselves right now. It is easy to allow ourselves to orphan ourselves, because there is a lot of intensity happening on the planet, but there is a need to connect, a need to fit. And maybe you're not fitting in the old identities, or the old, maybe parties, political parties, or groups that you hung out with. I also get the boundaries. Like I see, me and Mimi talked about this, I see it on Facebook. It's like, maybe it's don't want to see that, don't want to see that, don't want to see that. And having boundaries in a placement of self-care. Because with all the energy and all the intensity and all the opinions being thrown around right now, it's easy for us, especially if you're spiritual, especially if you're empathic, to take a lot of this on. And it's okay to unplug, but if you're unplugging from one thing, so if you're unplugging from Facebook, social media, old groups that you used to associate with because they're toxic, what happens is you still need community. Just because you're letting go of one doesn't mean that you can just be your own little island. So now we have to come up with the communities that are more supportive. They're more nourishing to help us flourish as an individual. So I also have the Mending card in reverse, and this talks about sometimes great healing comes from great heartbreak. So if there's a lot of things that are going on right now in your life and in the collective entirely, and it's breaking your heart, sometimes our heart needs to be broken open. Maybe this is just the way that we're going to feel more, to have more empathy towards others, to have more tolerance or patience, so we can have tolerance and patience for ourselves in our own process. And that's where I'm feeling this energy needs to go. So these cards are kind of funny with the Osho. I feel like there's a story. First, I have the Patience card. So we're trying to be patient. Here's this pregnant woman. Then we have the Thunderbolt card. And then we have the Flowering card. Doesn't this look like labor? This is what I'm pregnant. So, you know, I a man with a hammer, right? But this looks like, here's the patience and here's the development of ourselves. And all of a sudden, here it comes. Labor starts and the contractions start, and it's like, and shaking everything up. Of course it is, so we can blossom, right? So to be honest with you, maybe this is the exact moment. All the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, maybe this is the exact moment we've been waiting for. So you can freak out, and that's okay too, because it might be the shakeup we need. But through the end of it, through the uncertainty, is a new awakening or a new blossoming. Because underneath it all, I have the Beyond Illusion. So maybe this is an opportunity for a lot of people that were really stuck in old paradigms, really stuck in like, everything is great. And then it's like, maybe it's not. So we could see beyond the illusion and see what really needs to be healed and tended to and mended to. Tend to mend. So we have to tend on mending ourselves. And Capricorn energy is really good for us and to do the work, to step into that hard work. And in Aquarius, it's connected to the collective. It just is what it is. That's what Aquarius does. It connects to the collective. So whatever you're doing for yourself, maybe create communities that really bring healing more than they bring anger.
I love that. My energy mantra for tomorrow's horoscope is like, my micro vibration balances the macro vibration.
I love that, Mimi.
I know, it just popped, and I was like, oh yeah. And it's really true. Recognize that what you are doing in your individual self, with your individual self, is changing things on a large scale. I know we don't always see it, but it's the truth. Everything is micro and macro. Everything is as above, so below, and so you've just got to keep finding I think the triggers are like the best things ever. I hate them. They're the best things ever, because what they're doing is showing you where there's healing to be done, it's like where there are ungrounded wires that need to be connected. So Aquarius, we're talking electricity, but that's what these triggers, these things are all doing. And so it's all giving us this opportunity to come back in. Okay, here's where I can shift. Here's where I can do some of this work on myself. It all starts in here. And one of the things we were talking about earlier, and I like your cards for this, especially because we're building into this new moon, and community is such a thing, is, one of the most painful things that I've seen in this is the divisiveness, the division, the fighting amongst people. And that's the thing, I have had the saying in my head all week, and of course it goes away, but if you want to conquer somebody, divide and conquer, well, that's happened. So instead, let's come together and conquer. Let's conquer ourselves within ourselves. Let's not be divisive within ourselves, and let's not fight each other, because I think the thing is, and this is where my point is, I don't think any of us really do know what's best. And I think we're all trying to do our best. And you've got to trust that. Whether you like the way that person's going about it, whether you like what their beliefs are, they are entitled to their beliefs, and everybody's in their personal evolution scale where they're at, but we're not going to change this by beating somebody over the head with you're wrong, this is the way you need to think. Kindness changes something. You know what I saw? This is probably the best post out of anything that I saw over the last couple of weeks. It was a man, an African-American man, who started making friends with Ku Klux Klan members. I don't remember how many it said he friended, but he friended I think over 2 hands worth of people. That makes a difference. And wow, that's a pretty major, that's putting fear aside. That's major love. And that's how we change the world. What if you can be kind to that person who's I love Donald Trump? Or if you are a Donald Trump lover, what if you can be kind to the person who's Donald Trump is disgusting? Whatever side you are, can you be kind to that person?
I love, you said something, and I don't know what the direct quote was, but when you said it, I was like, oh yeah. It was something about kindness creates change or something. But I keep getting that the kindness moves mountains is what I'm getting in my head, is what keeps coming up through me. It's if we can find the kindness and we could just kind of let go of our own agendas, because I totally agree with you, Mimi. We all just have to admit that we have no idea. We have no idea what's right. We have no idea what's wrong. We might think we do, but you know what is right? Right is kindness. I'd rather be kind than right, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, I don't know. There's a meme that I love, and I'm going to post it. It has this woman, and she's floating in the cosmic ocean, and she says, I am going to publicly announce I have no idea what I'm doing. And I think that was epic and excellent and awesome, because a lot of times I think I know what I'm doing, and then I run right head first into a wall. And how humbling is that? To be honest with you, I think a lot of people are running head first with their opinions. Yes, there's some really crazy shit going on right now. You know what? Okay, just surrender. We don't know. Just be patient and allow the labor pains to birth us, because we don't know what's going on. And that's okay. You don't have to control everything. I had a post the other day on my daily. Serenity prayer. Serenity prayer, everybody. Serenity prayer. God, please grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I love that right now. I think it should be all of our mantra. That's what I know. But then I know nothing. I am Jon Snow. I know nothing.
I know nothing either. I just, all I know is that I can raise my vibration and I can keep getting better from this. you know, I always go back to too, I love that story about the man and like he found a horse and the neighbors are all like, oh, that's great luck. He's like, good or bad, I don't know. And then his son is trying to like tame the horse and
it breaks his arm.
And they're like, oh, that's bad news. It's like good or bad, I don't know. And then, you know, war comes and his son can't go to war because he broke his leg. And the guy's like, oh, his neighbors are like, good news. And they're like, good or bad, I don't know. Like, that's what I feel right now. And I really feel like it's going to be us and our vibrations that tip the tide. This whole thing, like, to me, can go either way. But how are you feeding into it? And I think we've all got to be, and maybe this is why we're talking about this, in the shadow as we reach this, you know, reach into this new moon. I think that there's a bit of a drama queen in many of us, lots of us, all of us. The part of us that watches the news, the part of us that can't look away when there's an accident. And I think that there's a part of us that's like, I want to see it fall. I want to see it fail and fall apart. You know, like I feel there's
I don't.
I don't want to see anything fail. I want to see everything rise up personally. But I feel that vibration out there. And I just think, you know, whether that's yours or not, like check in. Is there a part of me that wants Donald Trump to go down in flames? Is there, you know, part of me that wants America's smugness smacked out of it? You know, like that energy is really, really strong. And so like, just be aware of that shadow and then be like, oh my God, we're all one. Like, if America thrives, the rest of the world can thrive. If anything thrives, anything else can thrive. And remember that and raise yourself up through that. And again, good or bad, I don't know, but like, I'm just going to work on myself. I'll be here working on myself all the days.
Yep.
Consistency. That's the only consistency I have, personally. All right. So I guess we should get into the new moon energy. The new moon is happening on Friday at like 4 p.m. Pacific time. It is happening at 8 degrees. So 8 degrees is that degree of Capricorn. It's that degree of how are you showing up. And I pulled up the Sabian symbol, and I'm sure more is going to come to me about this, but the Sabian symbol, because I always like to read it, is beautifully gowned wax figures on display. And what it talks about is like this mental archetype. And maybe this is the thing, like with this new moon, we have this desire for everything to be this perfect wax figure thing, but oh my God, the wax figures are pretty boring. This life is a lot more exciting. And I think that's why we came here. We came for the excitement. We came because we're creators. We came because, you know, we're amazing at this stuff. So we may as well, oops, it's not supposed to be reversed. We may as well have some fun with this energy. I've got the playfulness card. I've got the transformation card. I've got the sharing card, sharing your light, but I've also got the sorrow card. So I think that we've got to really recognize, what is your vibration? Where are you at? Own it, recognize it. If you have to be in sadness, if you have sorrow to process it and recognize, okay, I'm doing this, I'm being in this energy so that I can evolve this energy. That's Aquarius, is revolution, evolution, it's liberation. And sometimes as part of this transformation process, you've got to be in it. Sometimes as part of this transformation process, you've got to be like, well, I'm going to be a silly clown. I'm going to share my light. I'm going to share my laughter. It's up to you, but you've got to be willing to be real with yourself. And I love that about the new moon, which is like, hey, what are you feeling? Be real in it. Don't compartmentalize. Aquarius can get really mental and be like, I don't want to feel that sorrow. I don't want to feel that pain. Shove away. That's not going to be what transforms you. That's not what's going to bring you into your wholeness. That's not going to be what helps you be true, be authentic in this energy. I've got the Hathor card, which is receptivity. It says, allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. I think when we are being receptive to our personal energies, it helps us be receptive to others, because we're like, okay, everybody's in their flow. You know, everybody's learning these lessons. Everybody's going through their things. And it helps us be authentic. You know, and that's that Aquarius energy, that authenticity. I had one other thing that popped into my head, but it popped right back out again. So
come back if it needs to come.
Yeah, it'll come back if it needs to. But the receptivity, and you know what I love about the Hathors, and you can look this up if Hathor resonates with you. speaking of vibrations, is Hathor sounds. Some people channel Hathor sounds. And my teacher, I'm actually wearing his turquoise right now. My teacher used to make Hathor sounds, and I'm not even going to attempt to make Hathor sounds, but they're pretty amazing. But if you want to shift your vibrations, maybe it's time to bring a little Hathor sounds into your life. Hathor has such a beautiful, divine energy to it. So, and this reminds me of one of my clients who has very lovely tones. Maybe he will put something out around this time if he sees this. Hey, if you see this, put something out. Make your Hathor sounds. But be receptive to shifting that vibration that you have. And from the sacred geometry, I have the fruit of life. And look at this manifestation card, which is so perfect because, you know, with the Capricorn energy, we're like, hey, this thing is coming. And here's this card, abundance and manifestation. This takes you beyond the flower of life, which is like the seed of the soul. And this takes you into the fruit of life. This is where you get to fruit. This is where you get to blossom. And so this card suggests that the fruit of your labor and vision, abundance, is coming about and is manifesting in your life. Rejoice in the knowledge that you're drawing in abundance and manifesting your goals. Abundance comes in many forms, and don't just get caught up in thinking about abundance as wealth. I really feel like that sharing card, your abundance of your light, the abundance of your beautiful, authentic energy, and the playfulness card, the abundance of your joy, letting those be your abundance. True, as you find your life path, the rewards will flow freely, but there are other types of abundance: beauty, love, friendship, hope, growth. Let the abundance you are manifesting bring you to a greater understanding of your purpose in life, an expanded view of plenty. And I really think that's where we want to go vibrationally in this new moon, in all this shift. Where are you going? What are you looking at? And how are you bringing forward your energy in this world? Nicole?
Yeah, so what I'm getting for the new moon, okay, so I got it again, the Thunderbolt card. It is what it is. I have something shaking up. So that's in the past position. What I like about this card in the past position as we go to the new moon, so in the dark moon, it is going to shake things up. So from Wednesday to Friday, don't freak out if things are shaking up. Relax, just let them shake up. Like, labor has to happen before you have the birth. That's really what I want to get out of this. Make sure that you don't go into the drama queen, right? So there is a test, I feel, in this new moon. It's like when things happen. So with our spirituality, I know a lot of people who like to gravitate towards spirituality, so no bad things happen, but that's not the way life is. Life, we come here to have this kind of messy, playful experience. When children play, they make a mess. When they have grass stains on their jeans, that just means that they have played hard. So if we are making a bit of a mess, that's just because we're playing in the game of life, and that's okay. So when things are getting messy, just relax, allow life to take its own course. What needs to happen is we have this test of when things shake up, are we going to go into the drama queen and exhaust ourselves? Are we going to relax, mature, and integrate all the things that are coming out? So we can you can make a mess and finger paint and just and make it all brown, or you can have fun, make a mess, and make all these beautiful colors and make a beautiful painting of your experience. You can make a beautiful piece of artwork with all the colors and all the flavors and all the things that are coming through for you. And then that light bit of intensity, even if it's intense, it's about how we handle it. It's about which way are you going to choose. Are you going to choose to make it more intense because you're going to buy into the drama, or are you just going to ride the wave of intensity? That's totally up to you, because in the future, I have this new adventure card. I have the adventure card, but it's in reverse. And why is it in reverse? So here's the reason. Because we can get in our heads and we can make everything feel really painful or sorrowful. Or you can throw up your hands and go, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to trust it. this sky looks kind of pink. I will go that way. You know, so it's like, what way do you want to do? Do you want to be sorrowful? I know what card I'd choose, to be honest with you. I think this one's so much prettier. So you have a choice. You can hold on to your opinions, because this is also the Nine of Swords. So if you know that in the regular tarot, it's the person in bed with its hands in its face and it's crying and it's all this anxiety and worry. You could do that if you want. That's totally an option. Or say, screw it, right? So then I have the Wisdom of the Oracle card. The first one I have is the loyal heart. Be loyal to your own heart. Don't worry about everybody else's. Be loyal to your own heart. What is in there? What do you need? What integration do you need? What things do you want to do for your own soul, your own sacredness? That is what's important. Maybe it's just kissing your kids. Maybe it's making a really delicious meal through all this chaos. Maybe it's just the simplicity. Or maybe it's making a beautiful piece of artwork. Or maybe it's starting an amazing group where, you know, a lot of women feel repressed. It's like, okay, if you went through an abusive relationship, then maybe start a group where you support each other and love each other. Things like that. There's the loyal heart. That's where the heart of it is. Because if you're trying to change the world, I'll just tell you, this is the not for you thing. It's not for you. Change the world right here. Then that changes the world in your home. And that changes the world in your community, and so on and so forth. You don't have to be the savior of it all. You don't have to be the Jesus Christ. That's not for you. Let it elude. Just trust and have a little bit more color. Have a little bit more adventure. Have a little less drama. Let the drama, you want to know my type of drama? Oh, I don't have one right now. I usually have scarves around me. I put on a scarf and a pair of sunglasses. That's my drama. I'm going to dress up and be dramatic that way and be playful instead of getting in the drama of fighting with everybody. And so that's your choice. Sorrow or trust? Trust, baby, please.
I always go llama when it comes to drama, and so I'm like, give the drama to your llama, or don't be a drama llama. I just, you know, rhyming takes me right out of any drama. I maybe like to channel Dr. Seuss sometimes, but
well, I like that better than save your drama for your mama, because I am a mama and I don't want your drama.
Don't be giving the drama to the mama. Give it to the llamas, because they are fabulous. Have you seen like there's like this llama, I don't know how to say it, GIF or GIF. I don't know which way you're supposed to say it, but it's like the llama's like walking away with my fabulousness, like that. Like it does it with its great long neck. Like, I love llamas. Llamas are the best. And then that bull thing that I posted, I don't know if you guys all saw that, but I posted on my Facebook a few weeks ago, and this guy was talking to this, it was a goat, I think, actually, not a bull. And the goat was like, nah, like, stop talking to me. Like,
I was thinking when you said the llama thing, I was like, you give the drama to your llama, it will spit it right back at you.
Exactly. So it'll be like, hey, this is your deal. So that's why we give the drama to the llama. And I remembered with the Hathor card what I was thinking. I was thinking of one of my favorite Rumi poems, The Guest House, which is like, this being human is a guest house. Every day, a new emotion. Sometimes it's an angry storm that comes in and clears everything out. But invite that angry storm in, because it may be clearing you out for new delight. So it's basically Rumi saying, be receptive to what you're feeling. If you are repressing it, that's still going to be in your vibrational field. So there's no use in like, I hate fake it till you make it. Like, I don't like it and I don't believe it. I do believe in being able to shift yourself, but you can't shift by repressing. You shift by, you know, being receptive and honest. Okay, this is my experience. Okay, and this is what sucked. And oh, okay, this is what I learned from it. And working with that energy. So that's what I was going to say about receptivity. Yeah. Okay, so next.
You're good. We're good. I'm ready to go. I'm just looking at my cards going, I have no idea.
So the other thing to keep in mind when we're working into that new moon energy is that we're going to have Mars actually finishing up in Pisces. Mars is going to be at 29 degrees in Pisces all through that day, that master level energy. So divine timing, being in that flow. And then we have Mars shifting, putting Hathor down, shifting into Aries. So Mars rules Aries. Mars, god of war. Aries, god of war. Same story. However, there's all those sides. Everything has its vibrational scale. And so war, anger, what is it good for? Okay, we have that on one side. Always can get Nicole to dance. Anyways, we have that. We also have passion and desire. And a lot of times what I see is that it's the unfulfillment of the passion and desire, or the feeling that something is in the way of your passion and desire that causes that war, that causes that anger. And so, got interesting cards. I'm going to start with my sacred geometry card. Actually, I've got the card Piercing the Veil, awareness. And look at this, like a warrior guy. He's standing there holding arrows. And it says the shaman holds a bundle of arrows representing the strength of the peaceful warrior. He is surrounded by blue flames that burn away the ego. Powerful 5-flower geometry aids him in his interdimensional quest. This is a demanding pursuit that will require the visionary to be conscious and vigilant. As he pierces the veils of illusion, he gains self-awareness and access to insight and wisdom beyond the conventional. This quest, or this card, suggests you are on a quest of greater understanding of your life path. Imagine that you travel with this shaman into the geometry and into your pursuit of self-awareness. Gaze past the veils of ego and delusion. Let it be your intention to move beyond these limitations and into your personal truth. Courageously step forward and pursue the way of wisdom. And I think that goes so perfectly with my Osho cards. I've got new vision and I've got consciousness. And so, you know, Mars in Aries is going to want to take action. Mars in Aries wants to seize this passion. It wants to activate that fulfillment of that passion energy. However, if you don't feel like you're getting there, you may enter into the war zone. You may get into this person's blocking me and this thing's not right and blah, blah, blah. You know, you may feel that fire come up within you. This is your opportunity to get out of that victim mode, to get out of the anything's blocking me, and look within. Okay, where is this coming from? How do I pierce through this veil into this new level of awareness? Use your consciousness to help you create, throwing cards, create and cultivate this new vision. You're meant to experience this thing. You know, people hike on purpose. People climb mountains on purpose. It's no different with life. We didn't come here to have everything handed to us. We don't learn that way. We really learn by working into it and through it. So if you come against a wall, don't start pounding on the wall. Instead, be like, okay, well, is there a door on this wall? Can I walk around this wall? Maybe I want to climb this wall. These things are for your consciousness, so don't fight it. Hold the vision about it and keep moving in and towards your passion. Or sometimes a wall is there to keep you out for a reason too. Just saying that. That might be the case as well. Whatever the case, from the goddesses, I have Freya. Be bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Okay, let's be fair. Aries doesn't need any, like, you know, push to be daring and be bold and be adventurous. Don't take stupid risks, but like take the risk of honoring your passion. Take the risk of pursuing that passion. Take the risk of not getting pissed at the world and being like, how is this working for me? Use this energy. There's going to be enough unconscious people who are going to be angry, and you can feed into that, or you can rise above and find your passion and keep directing yourself into that direction.
Well, these cards, it's funny because the last cards were so Aries. I had the intensity card, I had the Thunderbolt card, and then these are super Aquarius. So whatever. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. I know nothing. I'm Jon Snow. I'll just keep claiming that. Okay, so these are for Mars shifting into Aries. So in the past position, I two cards popped up. I have the ordinariness card and I have the awareness card. So this is really interesting. This is an energy that's telling me that you don't have to go anywhere to get exactly what you need. So you could just be in your own home. You could be doing very simple things and all of a sudden something goes, oh, wow, I was having such a wall with that, like Mimi said. And now I just realized there was a curtain all along. It wasn't a wall. And you just come right through it. And you're like, wow, I just came out of that shadow. And I had an awareness of something about myself, because underneath it all, I have the past life card. And then I was like, well, give me a little bit. Is this having to do with somebody else? And it's like, no, it has to do with you, Sensei. This is the existence card. So there's maybe you might have like a past life vision or a memory or a knowing about something that you have been really struggling with, something that you had a lack of understanding around. That's in the present position. And what that is going to do for you, what I love about this is it's going to bring you out of a certain amount of laziness. Of course it is, because this is Aries energy. So what I'm getting from this is, and then the politics card in reverse. Stay out of that stuff. We'll go into that for a second. But what it's going to do is whatever you're going to get with this Aries energy is like, it's like this little pop, like an awareness. And you're like, it almost feels like an indecision. It almost feels like something that you've been kind of like, I don't know if I should take the next step. So you've been procrastinating. Well, you're going to have on Friday this aha moment that's going to help you get out of that haze and fogginess. And it's going to give you more awareness of yourself, maybe more worth of yourself. So something's coming to mind for me. I just wrote a resume of all these things that I've done for the last 8 to 10 years. And I realized I was going to go for a position in a company, a spiritual online media company. And I was like, I don't know if I'm qualified for this. And then I started writing everything I did. And I went, wow, I'm overqualified. I should probably get this other job, because I'm actually overqualified for the job and I was selling myself short. So it kind of gives me that energy of like, just doing a little inventory, you're going to go, oh, I didn't even realize, because that's not what I was working towards. But life in general brought me to the point of readiness, that I'm more qualified or more ready than I thought I was. So that's the energy I have. With the wisdom of the Oracle deck that I have, first I have the Yang card. Ta-da! Coming out of laziness into taking action. So having this understanding is finally going to give you the permission to take a little action in your life, to a direction that you really wanted to go in, but maybe you didn't feel like you were ready yet. Then the other card, and then this is going with this. This is the never-ending story. This is the politics card. I'm going to just read this. The never-ending story in the reverse position. Okay. This is a time to avoid drama at all costs, especially when it comes from other people's stuff. Your sensitivity is on overload these days, and you're best served by keeping your distance. Your mantra today is, not my circus, not my monkeys. All this drama will pass and you'll carry on unscathed and blameless. So if this is happening, this might be the political drama on the TV and in the world, or it might be political drama at a job that you have or something around your home. But this is not your circus, not your monkeys. Hi, circus monkey. Hold on a second. Go ahead. I'm done.
I know. I like that circus monkey. It's funny because I like that circus monkey a lot. It's funny because we're moving into the moon shifting into Pisces after the new moon. We're going to have the moon shifting into Pisces on Sunday. And as the moon shifts into Pisces, we're also going to have Mercury finally reach conjunction with Pluto. So Mercury is going to move out of its shadow phase officially, be completely, completely through those lessons, those Capricorn lessons. And here it is, meeting with Pluto in Capricorn. At the same time, we have this moon in Pisces, which is so interesting because some of the cards that Nikki had in her last reading, I have past life from the goddesses. I've got laziness, and I've got the existence card. So I'm like, hey, you're still muted, by the way. So I see you motioning, but.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, see, well, the funny thing is I like, what was the one you had? The, stop that. You're in reverse, and laziness in reverse.
Laziness in reverse. And I'm like, oh my God, the same cards. They're Sagittarius. I want to play with my Sagittarius.
She's like, I want to play too. She just likes watching herself on camera. She's like, yeah, I'm just being a kid.
So you watch me for a minute and then you can watch yourself again. So along I have with these cards, and I just think they're echoing what Nikki said, because I think we're going to get, with that Mercury conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, we may get caught up in that control paradigm. You can't control these politics. All you can do is take the mask off yourself. Make sure that you're being in that integrity. You know, and Pisces energy, I like to say, if there's two signs that can get pretty dramatic, one is Leo and the other is Pisces. And so I think we're being encouraged in this energy. Don't get dramatic. Don't get caught up in those politics. Take care of yourself. Be with yourself. Don't get lazy about your process by being caught up in all this other stuff. The past lives thing, what I feel like, and this is what I kind of feel like has been coming up for me a lot lately, and I wonder if a lot of people are feeling this, and maybe this is where some of this energy is coming from. I feel like a lot of light workers have been through this, whether it was Lemuria, whether it was Atlantis or another, planet. And so we're like, we cannot let this happen again. We're not going to go up in flames. We're not going to control it by making it happen that way. We didn't make it happen before. It went down before. What did we do wrong last time? Figure that out. And maybe it wasn't wrong. Maybe it was meant to happen. Maybe this is all part of our evolution. Again, good or bad, I don't know. But look and see if you are in tune with that energy at all. Where did you play into that? And how are you mimicking those patterns right now? Because I think many of us are mimicking those patterns. And so we have this opportunity, the moon in Pisces, bringing in that intuition, along with, the other planets that are in Pisces. We still have Venus in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Chiron in Pisces. So we've got this strong Pisces energy. How can we attune to that master energy? How do we attune to that past life energy so we can bring in whatever knowledge so that we can make whatever shift needs to be made? Now, what I love is that we've got some help. I've got this Owl Guardian card, which is guidance, insight, intuition. Owls are shamanic and guardian symbols for many cultures. In Hawaii, the pueo is one of the most important family protectors, and the ancestral guardians known as the, I don't know how to say this, umakua? I might be saying that wrong, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But there's that ancestral piece. We're being supported. We're being helped. Tune in because the answers are within you. So the message from Owl is one of guidance from the intuitive part of your being. And I'm also thinking of Harry Potter. Your owl is delivering you a message. Okay, that reminds me of a thing, but I'm not going to go there. Anyways, this is an excellent time to practice meditation and other techniques for connecting with your high self. One fun and simple method is to try a bit of automatic writing. First thing in the morning when you're fresh from dream time, get a piece of paper and then just start writing. Whatever comes down, write without consciously thinking, as long as it feels right. A paragraph or two is plenty, or more if you decide to keep going. You may be surprised at the wisdom that comes from your higher self. Cultivating a genuine connection is not difficult, and appreciating the wisdom that dwells within you may aid in your ability to trust yourself and bring forth whatever this is. I don't think it's a coincidence that both Nicole and I had these past life energies, and both that existence card, which is like, pay attention. Something's trying to come through within you at this time. View the facets reflected and allow yourself to listen more closely to the insights and intuitions that are available to you at this time. So that's the Owl Guardian that's trying to help us in this. And, as Mercury's connecting to Pluto, wow, what about insights connecting to past destruction? Pluto in Capricorn attunes us to the transformation of structure. And obviously those old societies, and even if you're not into like Atlantis or Lemuria, but like look at all the great societies like Rome, Greece, every society at one point has had it's destruction. What went wrong? I think a lot of times what went wrong is intermediary fighting between themselves, not listening to each other, not respecting and being kind to one another. So that's my thing.
Rome imploded. We'll just say that. Rome imploded. That's how they got taken out. I mean, there was these kind of stupid barbarians that came about, but Rome imploded. And so we can implode. Guys, if you want to, we can implode, but I want to. You know what? I honor the structure of the old. I honor what was created by our forefathers in the cycles that have passed. And to be honest with you, I'd rather just evolve them and not crash them down to start anew. I don't want to go back to farming. I like having free time. I like my internet. I love connecting to you guys and me. I don't want to go back to the dark ages. I'd like to evolve. Let's do that. Can we do that, please? Let's do that this time. Let's evolve. I mean, we're in Aquarius, for goodness sake. Let's evolve. Okay, so this is the cards I have for this moon in Pisces. I feel you, Mama. I am right with you. Have we done this before? Have we gone through this before? Have we did this were we there in Rome when it imploded? Were we there in Atlantis when it fell? You know, probably. So it's like, and all of us were. So this is what I'm getting. First, in the past, I have the Beyond Illusion card. So let's go right to the present. I have the We Are the World in reverse. Now that we're all connected to each other on this beautiful brain internet that we have, so I call the internet the collective brain. So we all can connect to each other. But are we really connecting? No, we're not. We're just, it's like, I see, it's amazing. So I'll quickly go into this. And this was all the way back in college for me when I was in poli-science. I had political science. I was in class and I had this professor and he was very right wing. And he said, I used to argue both sides. True Gemini rising of me. I used to argue both sides. And then all my conclusion would always be the same, that they're both are right and both are wrong. Until we learn how to communicate, we're never going to evolve, or we're never going to change, or evolution will be very slow going, because once one party comes into play, the next party is going to unravel everything that they've tried to do in their presidency. And so that becomes a dynamic of self-sabotage for each other. And that doesn't do great at evolution. What we have to communicate. What he says to me is, well, I don't care if you've done double the work. I'm going to give you a B because you won't choose a side. And I thought that was extremely interesting to me, because what I would say to him is, then you're going to give me a B. And to be honest with you, that's like saying that the right part of the brain is better than the left. Or you can lobotomize your entire one side of your brain. It doesn't work that way. We have to connect both sides within ourselves to have the success that we need. And by doing that and communicating with other people, even if the opinion's differently, however, in the way that you want to decide to do that in your individual, beautiful, collective way, because you are the world, my friend. You have a piece in this. So the way that you communicate, the way that you show up is important to the collective success of what's happening. But you must have the courage this time. How do you want to show up? So these are the wisdom of the oracle cards that I have. I have the Unfinished Symphony. Here we are. We've come back to this point, this note. I love it. It's like the universe or this planet has a certain song that it's playing. And it's like, here we go. We're right back to the symphony. How are we going to play it? Then I have the TikTok card. And this talks about that. Don't worry about how many times we have to do it. We always have a new opportunity. And that doesn't go just for the collective. I want to say this to each and every individual, to myself, to all of us. There's so many people, I have clients, and I bring up something in their reading, and I'm like, oh, there's the dad issue, or the mom issue, or the da-da-da, or the ex-husband issue. And they're like, oh, I thought I got rid of that. And I'm like, no, it's just a layer. We're fractal patterns. That's what the truth is. It's like, it's just another layer, and that's okay, because there's time to, we're just It's infinite. This universe is infinite. And beyond this universe is another infinite universe, and beyond and beyond and beyond and beyond. It's not about necessarily finishing the symphony. It's about dancing to the note that's being played and being able to show up in harmony with the note that's being played. We're all little musical instruments. Your choice is to tune your instrument, your individual instrument, so you play in harmony with the symphony and not the one sitting on the side like playing your own solo when this thing needs to be in harmony here. So how are you going to show up? How are you going to tune your instrument? And how are you going to be part of the collective harmony and not be like playing off note, right? So that's your piece. Don't worry about everybody else playing their own weird harmony. You connect to the heart and find and have the courage to be the one that stays on key. Because then the person next to you can go, oh, that's pretty. That one sounds really bad. That's pretty. And start playing with you. Then we start creating harmony.
It's so funny. It reminds me, I was in a yoga class the other week, and like everybody was oming in harmony, and there was one person who it sounded like a seagull oming. I was trying to really honor her unique sound, but wow. Yeah.
One day she'll figure it out though, because I think I've been the seagull before. I'm like, oh God, I can't find it. I'm not like, it's not clicking, right? It's like, oh, where am I? And then when I just like let it go, sometimes you can hear the vibration in your ear when you have it. It's like, oh, it's like, and so, I've been there. But what's great is she can figure out, the more she does it, the more she can like find it.
I love that she was singing out loud and proud, even as a single, even if she hasn't found that unity, like to me, it's like there's a willingness. At least she's singing. At least she's making her sound. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen the person in yoga class going, and they're not making a noise. They're not doing nothing, but they're scared to use their voice. So it's better than that.
Okay. Well, this was fun. Tangents galore. But I think very good, helpful tangents. We have our sale going. If you want your own personal GPS, if you want to work with us, I haven't been advertising this enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me either. Shoot.
Oh, well, whatever. But it's there if you guys are sticking. We have it, the two of us for an hour. It's $150. It's so fun. We record it. We can go, deep into whatever issues you want to look at. You can find that at Gaia Blooming, or you can email me or message me on Facebook or message Nicole if you want to do that. But we have that sale going. So check that out. And I don't have any other sales going right now. I'm just kind of going with the flow of all the things. Do you have anything you want to mention?
We're rolling with the homies. You know what? I'm just catching up to that crazy influx of readings I had. I was like, wow. I was busy all the way through January. But I might, because of all of this stuff happening, I might do a sale on cord cuttings, but I think maybe next week is when I'll announce it if I do it. Just because I feel like so many people have so many things they have to cut from right now. It's like since this transition, and we have Chinese New Year, and we're going into the year of the rooster and all this, and then also February 2nd, I believe, even though it's Groundhog Day, it's also Ishtar, like it's this kind of celebration of the goddess as well. And I think because of all this feminine goddess energy that's trying to get online right now, we have to like let go of all the suppression and all the people who've suppressed us. So I might do something where we cut the old bonds. So it's a good little ceremony to do that. It's only a half an hour, so I'll probably like do it like, it's like 20 minutes to do the cord cutting, and then maybe I'll pull like 4 cards for like $75. So if you're interested, let me know.
All right. Well, that is it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for ranting and being in your happy vibrations with us. And we will see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.